Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Bob. My name is Bob. I'll be your Dungeon Master for tonight's episode of Vecna, Eve of Ruin. How's it going, everybody? Look at this crew
Going
here.
all right.
Wow.
We've got a new group for this new chapter today. Today is the start of Chapter 7 of Vecna, Eve of Ruin. So we have Michelle, Steve, Randall, and CJ here for this chapter. Isn't this exciting?
Yeah.
Yay.
exciting.
I mean, I'm here, so
I think
I'm excited.
more exciting than not being here for sure.
everyone should be excited about this one. This has been highly anticipated.
Yeah,
I think this
I've
is
been,
actually
I've been hearing the scuttlebutt has always been can't wait for chapter 7.
It actually kind of is. Chapter 7, I've told this to this group that I think it's the most unique chapter. It's probably just so different than the other ones. So we'll see how this goes. I'm excited. I don't have your characters' names portrayed just yet because it's still a secret as to who they are playing. So more to come soon. I'm sure you'll learn who they are soon. Maybe there's a couple of clues that we gave in the other Vecna Eve of Ruin chapters to who the characters may be, but for right now, it's a secret. So before we jump into who our characters are, tell us who you are. Michelle, we'll start with you and we'll go around the horn. We'll go Michelle, Steve, CJ, Randall, and tell us who you are. Michelle, who are you?
Well, I'm Michelle. Hi. I don't know what to say. I have been here on Tabletop Bob since the beginning with Descent into Avernus, after which I descended into the depths of the supernatural realms on Supernatural 20. And yeah, since then, been here and there, a few short things, and now Curse of Strahd is just a wild ride, having a lot of fun with that. And my character Dione, the French dwarf halfling hybrid. Yeah.
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 I doubt we'll see Dione here tonight, though. Wouldn't you agree? I doubt that.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. Steve.
Hi, well, I'm Steve. Hello. I've been playing with Bob since the beginning of Tabletop Bob. I played Supernatural 20 with Michelle and a few other one-shots. And Bobby and I did Ravenloft several years ago.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. So I'm very much looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too, actually. It's been a while since you've been on the channel, Steve. And of course, Supernatural 20 is one of the, like you said, I mean, maybe one of the first for Avernus. It was Avernus, Icewind Dale, Supernatural 20. I think that was the order of those first few campaigns. So we definitely we have some OGs here returning. I love it. All right. And then we'll jump over to the other side of the title screen. CJ, who are you?
What up? I'm CJ. I've been on the channel since, I guess, the beginning also with Icewind Dale and then so many other things. And I have had so many other characters on the channel. So who I could be is anybody's guess, really.
Oh, man.
But I mean, it could be anything. You could never figure it out. So
That's true. Not that this is a big, like, I honestly sometimes don't even think about it, like, but the positioning of where people are, I actually don't know. CJ, have you ever been in the bottom right position before?
Me? I don't know.
Yeah, how do you
for
feel
some
about
reason,
being on the bottom, CJ?
Yeah. Right under Randall.
there we go. Look at that.
Always.
You know, I don't know if there's I in my mind sometimes I don't know. Maybe I have patterns. There is actually one as I've noticed this more recently because I was looking back for footage. I think you saw the intro has all the footage and things like that. And I've done a couple of other things recently where I had to look back to like old campaigns. There's a video that may be coming out soon, independent of these games. But I've noticed, I think I have a trend, and I don't know if it's subconscious or not, but where some people go. Estelle, for instance, has almost exclusively been bottom right, the spot that you're in, CJ.
Got a stealth spot.
But it's weird. Like, I don't know if I did it on purpose or just subconsciously. Sometimes I do, like with these campaigns, I actually do have a little bit of a purpose to where I'm putting people. But it's weird. It's very interesting. But I haven't thought about it till more recently. And CJ, I don't think I've ever seen you in that spot, but we'll have to go back for the footage.
It's weird. Well,
Weird.
happy to be here in the bottom right spot. Hopefully, I can live up to all of the legacy of those who have come before me in this spot, and I hope to continue the 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 legacy myself in being the bottom right corner. It's
I
like,
think the bottom right fits you. All right. I think the
thanks.
bottom right fits you.
Looks
Let's.
good on you.
Yes, I'd agree.
It's a good fit.
It's a good fit. And Randall, you are last. Go ahead, but not least. Go ahead.
Always. Yeah, I'm Randall. I was in the last chapter as Quentin. I played in a few one shots. I also played in Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And I think Quentin is my only returning character. I think all the other characters were one shot characters. So, but yeah, here to fuck shit up.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think you and Steve are in the same boat. You had kind of like one main character and then a couple of things here or there, which are, one shots. It's not like we had as much continuity with them. So that might be a giveaway as to who some of the people are today. But still more to come. Okay.
I forgot to mention CJ played with us in Ravenloft all those years ago. A very unique character.
Oh, yeah.
Remember very well.
That character has shown up on the channel several times.
Yes,
That's
everybody
where
loves.
that character originated.
Yeah,
And
that's
Randall
true.
and I played together with, I think it was Mike's campaign.
Yeah,
Some time ago.
back in the gaming club when we would
Yeah.
play, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember your Spores Druid. I don't remember their name, but
Bremen, who should have died
Bremen.
5 times, but Mike was very generous about it.
Yeah.
knowing Mike as long as I have, I don't know if that's generous in letting players live is
you
not.
Should have let one. I should have really died one time, and I was even telling Mike, I have another player. I can go. We can just start right away. Just let him go. Let him go. He's like, no. He was very generous. He saved him.
Hey, that's D&D sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Characters come and go. Sometimes they get lucky. So, well, I think we're all about to be very lucky because we're going to play in this awesome chapter. Are you ready to start here?
Oh yeah.
So ready.
Nice. There's one thing I want to say before we begin. So with this new chapter we start, we're playing on Thursdays. That's going to be the schedule going forward. We're playing on Thursdays. Curse of Strahd is premiering on Tuesdays, right? That's when every new episode premieres. Tuesdays, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't done so already, CJ's here, so I feel obligated. You got to hit the like and the bell and all the good YouTube stuff. So do all that so CJ doesn't get upset. All right? You ready to play?
Yes, please.
Ready.
Because we're on a boat. That's where this takes place. And no, CJ, it's not in the Astral Sea. We've already done that episode. We're in the Isle of the Serpents on the land of Oerth, the classic D&D setting, the Greyhawk setting. But to start this off, we're actually going to begin with Michelle. Michelle.
Here I am.
Bear is on a boat. The boat is called the Outlaw. That's the boat you're on. You've commissioned a group of pirates to take you to the Isle of the Serpents, to one specific island that contains a ruined tomb called the Tomb of Wayward Souls. A lot of people, whenever you've said something along the lines of you're going to the Isle of the Serpents, they've cautioned you. They've said that there's dark magic there, that there's some rumors that an old hidden tomb traps people within, and people who have gone to explore for it never come back. They believe this is the place that you're looking for, and so they're a little hesitant. You can only get some steely-nerved pirates to bring you here. You've been traveling for weeks. Luckily, you had some help. Your friend and compatriot in the Supernatural 20 Guild, Yagnir, has been helping you to procure the boat and the sailors. You've been traveling now for a few weeks, like I said, on the open seas, and you're asleep right now. But you wake up from your sleep, and you stand alone. It looks like you're on a open plain, like there's very little trees. It seems to go on for miles and miles. Your eyesight here, you can see moonlight up ahead in the sky above you, but everything else around is utterly still. There's no wind. There's no you don't notice any sort of motion from animals, things like that. But something above you, you notice, is wrong. The stars are not aligned correctly. Now, you're not an astrologist, but you look around, astronomer either. But you either way, whatever your thing is, signs or science, whatever it is, you look around and you see spirals in the air, sigils burning into the night sky. Bear takes a deep breath. And then all of a sudden, you are submerged in water. You feel the weight of the ocean kind of pounding against you. And then you're lifted, light yet again, orbiting around the planet. And a swirling purplish pink miasma surrounds you. And you see before you just one singular eye looking, and the sound of a voice in the distance, but you can't quite make it out. It's a deep, guttural sound. It's not even sure if it's even common. It might be a different language. But you hear just like I said, a whisper of this. And it sounds like this. You'll chase the rod. What are you playing at? You plan to cleanse the rot? But yet the rot is all that remains. How do you respond, Bear?
Bear says, "You're wrong. You're wrong, and I'll prove you wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Dobby believes, so I believe too. We'll get you."
Rot will be all that remains. And the voice hushes, and like I said, this purple-pink swirling miasma around you disappears, and suddenly you wake up in a cold sweat. You hear the sounds of sailors out above calling that they are here, land ho. And you collect yourself, maybe go to the wash basin, splash some water, get that vision, that dream out of your mind. This is maybe the 10th or so time that you've dreamed this over the last month. Some things have happened, obviously, in the past that have maybe caused this sort of like connection that you felt. But you put that behind you. You get up to the top of the ship on the deck, and you see your friend, the tiefling Yagnir. Since Yagnir has not been in the game so far, Steve, can you just describe Yagnir's appearance?
Well, he's a male tiefling, purple skin, small horns, a tail, has a bit of a goatee. Usually he's a priest, so he'll wear like priestly black robes, and usually keeps his head covered to avoid being seen as a tiefling, because there's a lot of tiefling racism, unfortunately, in the world.
Mm.
And usually has a backpack with crossbow. Spell book is in the backpack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you would see him like he's got his adventuring gear ready to go. He's standing on the dock, maybe in a way helping with the crew of the ship. It's a small boat. You really couldn't, like I said, commission anything more without getting noticed by your guild. So again, this is a steely pirate crew, no more than a dozen sailors in total. They've agreed because, of course, Yagnir used his resources to gain some gold, and you're paying a pretty penny for this. But either way, land is near. And all this time, you have seen Yagnir and you've talked to him here. There's somebody else that's been on the boat that has always been kind of like a quiet recluse for the maybe, I don't know how long it's been, 2 weeks or so this journey has taken you. And he comes up from underneath in the bunks as well. He's got a long flowing beard, but he dressed... Well, actually, you know what, CJ, I'll let you describe how you would be dressed.
Yeah, long flowing beard, very wizardly robes, just whatever you picture as the most generic wizard looking character is that, like
Daniel Radcliffe?
I'm talking like sorcerer's apprentice Mickey Mouse, like the guy Mickey Mouse is working for. Blue robe, pointy hat, long sleeves, white beard coming
You have a
down.
staff.
That's, yep, staff.
So essentially, the most impractical outfit for any sort of movement.
Yep.
For a boat.
But it's like the your stereotypical like the wizard you think of. That's this guy. That's the guy who's coming out in of the. Maybe it's a little bit more form fitting. It's not like super, but you know,
It's loose.
It's loose, wizardly.
You know, Gandalf pulled it off, though, right?
Yeah,
He did pull it off.
you know.
I've always wondered about that. Why do wizards not buy the right size clothing? Like, just get a fitting, man.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe it's a
like
little
store
bit tailored.
stuff
It's a
in
little
there.
bit. It's a little bit snugger. It's a little
stores.
bit nicer. Moons and stars on it. All sorts of.
So my
Yeah.
question to you, CJ, is: would your character have any prior conversation, you think, with either Yagnir or Bear? Because again, you were looking for a ride here. The pirate crew actually allowed you on the boat. It's weird. Nobody's really sure what allowed you to be on the ship, but you know, Yagnir commissioned it. You were there. They assumed maybe that you were part of the crew or that you had some sort of ownership of the boat, but the ship went on its way, and the crew assumed that you were part of the entourage, and you seem to have fooled everybody. Would you have introduced yourself? Would you have tried to stay out of conversation? What do you think your character would have done on this 2-week journey to the Isle of Serpents?
I would likely. I mean, he would have likely stayed out of most of the conversations. He does have his, you know, unique way of getting into and out of places socially if he needs to. Like he can. I mean, I can be very convincing, if you will, in many ways. I make friends everywhere I go. And yeah, I can. So whether or not they were certainly influenced in some way to allow me on. And again, like you said, they all seem to like they accept that I'm there. Whether or not they know why is another thing. You know, the weak-minded are sometimes easily
Swayed.
swayed. Yes.
It's a very Obi-Wan thing to say.
Yeah. Again, the robes help in that in doing so.
I really like the idea of you like having like an illusion timer, just like shit, gotta go cast charm person again, and like
Yeah.
just like
God,
I dig
is
it.
it mass suggestion time?
I dig it.
Um,
And go ahead, CJ. Finish your thought.
yeah, and yeah, again, just constantly being there. Yeah, just showed up.
Sweet.
I probably had a little bit of a conversation with Yagnir and Bear at some point. Just to see what their deal is, like, but not anything specific. Just be like, oh, you're adventurers.
And I would also assume Bear and Yagnir would probably not give you too much information about their journey, but you just assume this weird, creepy old dude is part of the pirate entourage and vice versa. And maybe it's only now that you're realizing, wow, he doesn't really seem like he's a pirate, and he's getting off the boat with you as you all file off. Again, small crew here. They kept this
I
pretty
think
quiet.
Bear and I would consider ourselves on a secret mission from the S20 Guild.
Yeah, well, at least you do for certain. Now, Bear is on their own. Bear, he's been kind of like rogue, and I don't know how much there was. I mean, maybe you can describe, Michelle, but the meeting with Yagnir when you first came to him probably was a little awkward. It's been years since you've seen each other. You and Dobby were kind of outcast from the guild, whereas Yagnir stayed loyal. But at this point, you know, you put bygones in the past, and you are moving on because you've explained how important your mission is to Yagnir. But you can touch on that if you'd like. I don't know if there's anything that needs to be said at this moment, but what would you say the general tenor is between the two of you?
I feel like Bear probably is pretty okay with Yagnir at this point. Like definitely a little trepidation at first because Bear and Dobby did like very much reject the guild and walk away from it while Yagnir stayed. So Bear would have been a little hesitant, just like feeling out Yagnir and whether he's still cool. But after seeing that Yagnir still accepts Bear and doesn't like fully reject or eschew him for leaving the guild, it's all good. Yeah. What is it?
Well, there would
Water
have been
under the bridge.
hugs all around and reminder that friendship always wins out. And I would tell Bear that, hey, I only stayed for the guild benefits. I kind of hate them.
Stayed for the healthcare.
The healthcare.
Those are some pretty nice benefits.
So, no worries, my friend. No worries.
Good.
Many adventures together.
Yeah. So all is hunky dory.
Yes.
And I did switch over to a Roll20 view just so you could see the token art. These, again, I've tried to use the original token art for everybody that's playing in the games. I did my best. There were some that had to be updated, but generally speaking, we're using the original token art. So obviously we have Bear, Michelle's Bear here, the gnome, Yagnir, the tiefling, and down behind the two of them filing off the boat is CJ's character. CJ,
creeping up behind.
Creeping up behind. Look at this. Look at the eye. Look at the eye. It's the eye.
All right, so he's obviously Vecna in disguise.
Well,
we have to kill him.
That eye does look pretty ruinous to me. I'm just saying.
That's why this is the most anticipated one. It's the first one with PvP. Okay, I got it.
This is great. So Bear and Yagnir, you are walking off the gangplank to the beaches here. There's a dock, and you're exiting, and you see there's actually quite a sight around you. I'll describe the sight off of the dock, but you see this wizard-like person who you again assumed was maybe part of the pirate crew or just somebody else of importance. He's walking off with you.
Who's that creepy guy? I thought he was like the accountant or something. Why is he getting off the boat?
I thought he was with the guild. Maybe he was sent to spy on us.
I don't like that. Okay, I don't want to talk to him. Can you talk to him?
Why don't we take him out for drinks and get him drunk, and then we'll find out what's going on.
Is this an inhabited island that we're landing on where we can go out for drink?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Here's the scene around you at the dock. Here's the scene around you at the dock. So as you exit, you can see it looks like it's partly built onto the shore, but it does go into the jungles a bit. And I don't know if anybody has seen the show Lost, but I imagine that this beach looks kind of similar to the beach of Lost, where it's like just, maybe 50 meters beyond the shore is like the tree line, and it's thick, dense. But then it's like nice, beautiful beaches that have been built here. But there's a dock, and it's a single dock, one small area for a ship. There is already one ship on the left side of the dock, and your ship pulls into the right. Beyond maybe like the crest of that hill, that dune here where it leads up into the tree line, you see an encampment. There are tents here, between the shore and the jungle, some maybe even starting to go into the jungle line a bit. There's digging equipment scattered across the sand. You can see people here. There's maybe 5 or 6 different humanoids, elves, humans, and one orc as well. And you can see there looks like a smaller encampment. Sorry, I apologize. There are mostly humans here. But there's a smaller encampment that looks like it's closer into the jungle area. There's a small little hut that looks like it's been built and maybe has been here for quite some time. And you can see an elf and an orc kind of tending there. But you see quite a few different creatures right here up along the shore. Some are near the boat, getting supplies off of their boat. Their boat's much bigger. Looks like they had a bigger crew, a bigger group, and they're unloading boxes to the new encampment that they're building. It looks like they've been here for a few days. They've set up a pretty nice encampment with tents and fire pits. They've been fending off pretty well. So you do see this. Maybe a dozen people and so are on the shore.
What time is it? Is it morning?
I'd say morning. Yeah, maybe like late morning, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
So do Bear and I know where we're going on this island?
That's the question. You do not, but you're hoping that you can. Now, you've heard that this land, this island in the Isle of the Serpents has been... there have been people who go here from time to time who try to treasure hunt. They don't really have much more of a purpose than trying to like find artifacts. I mean, there's rumors that all these islands are, had civilizations on them, or that they were at one point maybe even magical. So a lot of misinformation, rumors, but it doesn't stop people from going around trying to find the next Hope Diamond. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say to Bear, this fellow is obviously an illusionist. Look at his robes. Let's keep an eye on him.
I slowly walk over and creep up behind them, and I say, "So,
I'll jump. Oh.
I believe it was you two who helped commission this vessel to arrive here. I must owe you a great bit of gratitude. For I myself needed to get here, and it was quite difficult for me to try and acquire such conveyance here. As you know, it is quite difficult to do such things. But I do thank you for getting these pirates here."
I'll look at Bear and I'll say, "Well, my friend, this was supposed to be a private charter. But
And it was it not? I left you alone the whole time. I gave you all the space you needed upon that tiny little rickety boat. But I must say, I do thank you. You fancy yourselves some sort of adventurers, do you? Here on this island?
We're tourists."
Oh, tourists, fantastic. I don't know many tourists who carry around the kinds of weapons you do, but you do look quite the adventuring type. If you're doing any sort of touring out into the wilds here, I hope you are well prepared for these dangerous wilderness here.
I'll say, "Excuse me for 1 minute," and I'll pull Bear aside, and we'll do a huddle, and I'll say,
Don't take too long now.
Yes. Bear, I think you should kill him."
This is the creepiest accountant I've ever seen in my life. I don't like him at all.
Rage
is he
out.
even a pirate? Why is he here?
Rage out. Kill him now.
Wait, no. I feel like that would blow my cover. What kind of tourists are murdering
too
people
much blood?
like him?
That's right. Too much blood.
Yeah, maybe like once we get him kind of like, somewhere.
Let's see what he does.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll come back up. Yes, as I was saying, we're tourists, and
well, as
so
tourists,
we have to go tour, and it's nice talking to you, and we just...
Well, wait, just a moment. As tourists, I assume that you would need a very well prepared tour guide and some sort of protection here on this island. Again, it is quite dangerous out in the wild there. I would hate for someone like you and your companion there to fall on hard times and get...
Oh, we have a reservation with the world-famous tour guide, Dasha, and she will be meeting us
well,
about a half mile down the road. Thank you very much. It's nice talking to you. Let's go.
Are you familiar with this island? You're talking like you know this place.
I know a bit about... I mean, again, I don't know the island too well, but I am quite well versed. I am actually, as you can tell, the archmage of...
I thought you were an accountant. Sorry.
No,
okay.
not at all, my dear. I am an archmage here, and I guarantee...
You're dressed like an illusionist.
No, not an illusionist. I do know a few illusions, but I am not just merely an illusionist. I am capable of quite a few different magical feats. I am quite capable of doing all sorts of rituals and powerful spells in case there is any sort of danger you encounter. And I would love to, I would offer you my services again as a repayment for your chartering of this voyage that got us here, and perhaps to help you in your touring here. It would be a great way for us both, all three, to explore the island a little bit more together. Don't you think?
Bear's gonna tug on Yagnir's elbow.
Oh, and I forgot to mention when Yagnir speaks, he's got this gravelly type of Linda Blair exorcist type of voice, like rah, rah, so, and he has his cloak down so nobody picks on him. So,
Fair enough.
All right, Bear's gonna like shuffle
Yeah.
to the side with Yagnir.
Don't take too long again.
Well, if he knows the islands, maybe he can help us.
Maybe he can. We don't have to tell him everything, right? Just like pretend
True,
we're
true.
regular tourists.
And you could always kill him if he knows too much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could. I guess.
You could. I think you could.
He's an
Well,
old man,
listening.
that's for sure.
All right, so I'll go up to him.
Okay,
I'll
we shuffle
introduce
back.
myself. And I'll just like pull back my cloak a little bit, the hood, and say, "Do you have a problem with my race?"
Ah!
Yeah.
No, not at all. I was just kidding. I've met many of your kind. They're fantastic.
I walk away depressed. Oh, another one. It figures.
Just
So-
kidding.
All right.
So I'll say yes. We will accept you.
It was
as our,
Yagnir, I believe, is what they called you on the voyage, and this
Yes,
your-
Yagnir.
your small Yagnir, and your small companion was Bear. If I
He is
could-
there.
I may be small, but I'm not his companion. Maybe one day you'll be lucky enough to meet the greatest wizard of all time, Dobby. But till then, yes,
He's about-
Bear, nice to meet you. And Bear like offers his hand.
He's
Zero
about to say
contracts.
another wizard's name, and then he's like, "Oh, maybe I don't want to reveal that yet."
Yes, so it's often mispronounced, but Dobby.
Dobby.
Have you
I will keep
purposely
that
not
in mind.
introduced?
I hope to one day meet your friend Dobby. He sounds very interesting.
Oh yeah.
So whenever you mention Dobby's name, I'll do a little golf clap.
Have you introduced yourself, CJ? No, right?
I have not said my name.
Fair enough. Fair enough. While this conversation's happening, Randall, you've been
Hi.
here now on the island for quite some time. You've actually grown a little bit frustrated with maybe the crew that you've signed on with here. You like them all enough, but they're very thorough, and even though you feel like there is a need to go, and you understand that going into this island without some backup or somebody to help you may be misguided here. And you also don't know the island's layout very well, and your magic hasn't been of much use. So you've hitched yourself with this archaeologist's crew. Their encampment is here on the beach. You have known, this is the person that you have made contact with. I'll share it in Roll20 right now. Let me switch it over. This is the person that you've been kind of like in contact with. Oh, geez, wait. Never mind. Sorry, I was in the wrong view. Her name is Lesa Matulin, and I'm going to put the picture up there. She's the leader of this archaeologist expedition. Her and her crew got here, just maybe like a week or so ago, and have set up camp, have done some preliminary expedition into the woods. You've gone on those. She feels like she is very close to locating the tomb at this point, but, she's taking her time and due diligence and charting courses and making sure that you don't double back on paths. And it's been very thorough. You must commend her for that, but you really want to get to that tomb. And you're talking with her about your current expedition, your plans to go out into the jungles today. And you look as a boat pulls in and a few people get off. The pirate crew settles their ship, and, docks it at or moors it at the dock. And these three peculiar-looking individuals, they don't look much like sailors, get out. One is actually wearing very impractical, flowing, oversized wizard's robes with moons and stars, and he's talking very loud, and you can't really hear the conversation because you're at kind of like in the the camp, but you look out and so does Lesa, and she says, well, it looks like we have company here.
Yes. Does not look like the usual sort.
She says, they don't look like they're on here for a dig. She says, I wonder what their purpose is. I didn't realize anybody else was going to be following us. She says to you, why don't you go over and check out who's in that boat? Make sure that they're on the up and up. And while you do this, can you describe your character as well?
Sure. You would see a fairly tall, slender elf. Presents like masculine, very angular features. Kind of like very sharp jaw, very like kind of narrow, like elven features. Long ears. Not a normal like high elf or wood elf though. Their skin is this sort of very light gray. Almost ashen gray. They are a Shadarkai, an elf of the Shadowfell. And it's an odd thing. Like they have their like very dark hair, kind of pushed back, shaved very closely on the sides, just above the ears. And it's odd for an elf, to look tired, as elves do not need to sleep, but this elf has like kind of almost like dark bags under the eyes, like looks like something is like has been exhausting. He looks exhausted from some source. Very strained. Wearing you would see mostly just a cloak. You can see a tiny bit of metal underneath, but it's non-reflective, and a mantle of raven's feathers on over his shoulders. He just kind of moves his cloak to the side, just keeps a hand on I'm glad you have that token. I thought I was worried you had the other token I have. Awesome.
I have all the old tokens.
Very nice. You see, he just kind of moves his cloak aside, puts his hand on a sword that has the handle sort of encased in like bone, and has a raven skull at the pommel. A like gilded raven skull, and looks at each of you from like down the beach, just kind of eyeing you up and down. Looks back to Lesa.
Are we going today?
Yes, we'll be leaving shortly, but now I'm concerned. I don't want anyone here messing with our encampment, stealing. These look like pirates.
The people behind them look like pirates. They do not.
Well then, like I said, check them out. See if they're on the up and up. We'll leave within the hour.
Make it 40 minutes, please.
She nods. We'll do our best. And she starts shouting to other archaeologists, we're leaving soon! 40 minutes! She looks back at you with a little bit of a wry smile. I think your sentiments toward her would be that she's been a very helpful person in your journey. But generally speaking, yeah, you're impatient. So
overly
says,
careful, I imagine.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Do I not necessarily recognize them? Does anything seem familiar about them? Obviously, one of them looks like a wizard trying out for a wizard cereal company commercial. But does anything feel like familiar about any of them to me?
Immediately, once you start walking away from the encampment towards, and you can get within earshot, and you hear the voice. You've heard that wizard's voice before. You've met this person. You know exactly who they are. The other two you don't know.
I don't think I'm going about this stealthily. I'm also like wearing mostly dark greens and blacks, and in the middle of a beach in the day, so I probably stand out more than anyone else, and so I think once I get in earshot, he just stops and just like closes his eyes for a moment,
Patron, guide me.
and continues walking. and gets to about 5 feet away or 10 feet away from all of you.
Greetings. What brings you to the Isle?
Oh, hello. How are you? We
You
are.
can go last.
Actually, CJ, you recognize him. You maybe say that as you're turning around, but then your jaw must drop here. You have found who you've been looking for.
I can
Oh.
tell that he is about to burst a vein, so if the other two of you could introduce yourselves quickly, that would be helpful.
They're just tourists.
Just tourists.
There's tourists.
Hi.
Hello.
That is quite a big axe for a tourist.
Hmm.
Well, like, you know when you go camping, sometimes you need wood for fire. So I like to gather my own wood. It's very practical.
Bear's like,
Always have
camping.
protection.
And a wizard for protection, right?
Right.
Just always
Yes.
carry protection. No, that's a very good motto to carry around, follow around. Yes.
And what about you, other tourist?
Oh, I'm just here to see the sights.
And what sight brings your ire most?
Coconuts.
It's at this mention of coconuts that you hear a scream in the distance. Right up at the shoreline, some of the archaeologists that are, going maybe back to the boat, to and from, walking along the water's edge, yell. Tentacles rise up from the ocean. A massive kraken emerges, and there are about 3 or 4 of your archaeologist friends that have now been grabbed. Crates and whatever they're carrying thrown to the floor. There's splashing in the waves, and you can see these tentacles rising up to grab for more. And I'll show you a picture of it, and then we're going to roll initiative and jump into combat here. So this is what you see. Go ahead, Randall. What'd you say?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I told those damn halflings to stop throwing rocks into the water. They never listen.
Here you go.
Oh, wow.
Bam. Kraken.
I know this.
Kraken
answer.
ho.
Let's
Initiative,
see if
everybody.
that axe works on things other than trees.
Let's see.
You
Initiatives.
never know.
Oh, I know the answer to this riddle. Speak friend and enter. What's the elf word for friend?
Nat 1 to start it out.
Wow.
Getting out of the way.
First roll of the character.
Oh,
All right, so 2 for Randall's character. We still haven't introduced you or CJ's names yet, so we'll do that afterwards. But Randall's character at a 2, CJ's character at a 9.
which means I rolled a 2.
Sure, yeah. It actually looks like that's the case. And Michelle Bear gets a 16.
Yes.
And Steve, call out your numbers because I know you're on the other screen. Call it.
Trying to. Have to
You should just be able to click initiative, in the...
Yeah. All right, let me roll again.
Sure.
12.
12, great. So Yagnir goes at 12, so it'll be the Supernatural 20 crew, then CJ and Randall. And I'm going to really try not to say your character's name until we have it said on the stream here. But Bear, you're going to go first. Actually, it's not true. I didn't roll for the enemy. But yeah, maybe soon. Nope. Never mind. Mr. Kraken goes first. Of course, his first name
Mr.
is...
Kraken is my father.
His first name is... He's like, call me Phil, please.
Last
Here we
name,
go.
what?
All right, so the tentacles jump out of the water, grab a few of the archaeologists. They're screaming. Yes, they're halflings because they were silly to throw rocks in before. But the Kraken comes up, reaches out, grabs 2 of them, and I'm just going to roll the fling. So one of them is going to fling one up into the air and deep into the ocean. So like fling it backwards, and you see like a little halfling like, "Ah," and he's flies back. The other one is gonna crunch one of the archaeologists, just breaking rib cages, and the character is this is an NPC, he's an archaeologist, he's gonna die almost immediately and gets sucked down into the water. And the third, that seems to be trying to fight back, is going to be hit with a tentacle for 19 bludgeoning that will kill it as well, and then it grapples it and pulls it under the water. So it's got 3 of the archaeologists most likely either dead or drowning deep into the ocean. We'll go to Bear, your turn. There are still some other archaeologists on the shore. They're now fleeing from the danger, but you go first.
Okay. Well, I guess the thought crosses Bear's mind that we could just kind of like walk away from the water and
You could.
pay no mind. But no, it would be the right thing to to engage and try to rescue the people. So Bear's going to charge forward and raise his axe, and then kind of like look over his shoulder and be like, "Oh, it's like they're like trees, like wiggling trees, yeah,
Made of flesh, yes.
yeah." And then Bear's gonna charge forward with his axe. Is it like close enough to close the gap and attack within one
Yeah, so I'd
turn?
imagine your boat is actually just like in this art, in my mind, your boat is to the right and the dock would be right there. So I would say maybe it would probably be a double move just to get there. 60 feet's not that far away, but a double move to get there. But if you would like to, you can definitely take a longer route so that you can be on land and double move and kind of be able to position yourself for the next time to get in without one of its tentacles attacking you. It's got a 30-foot reach though, so you'd have to stay kind of like far up on the shore. You can see the reach too because it like extended pretty far, so it showed you kind of like it's a little bit of its power.
Okay. Yeah. So my speed is 35. So I guess I'll stay just outside of its reach. Like I'll get as close as I can. And then if that's a double move, I guess that's all I do. But if it's not a double move, I would theoretically ready up and attack with my axe if it does.
Yeah, to
Come
position
within
yourself in a way that you could, get to it next time. It'll double move, but you'll go up the sand, and now you're like
Okay.
facing the water's edge, ready to charge in. And yeah, you
Yes.
can reach its tentacles within 35 feet for sure.
Okay. Perfect.
All right,
And that's it.
Yagnir, you're up next.
Could I get close enough to it to use burning hands?
15 feet. I think I said it was about 60 feet, right? So if your speed is 30, no, just be a little short. Not with burning hands, but there are other spells you have that could certainly do it.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. I'll do Sacred Flame. Oh, no, not Sacred Flame. Guiding Bolt. I'll do that.
Okay, great. So roll to hit. You make a spell attack. Yeah, that's got plenty of time. Are you staying on the dock, or do you want to like get further up on the beach as well? It's 120
I
feet.
get further
for-
up on the beach.
Okay.
I rolled a 12 again.
Okay, a 12, and then you add your total, or was it 12 on the die?
Trying to find the total. I'm on the other page.
It would be 5 extra, I believe, from your character sheet. So because you had a wisdom of +2.
That's right. All right, so 17.
Yeah, it'd be 17. Yep. That sounds right. So 17, and for the kraken, let's see if that's enough to hit this kraken. Wow, a 17 does not hit. I mean,
Ooh,
it might be
okay.
the idea is that it hits, but just its thick natural armor protects it. But a 17 seems like a near miss.
All right.
Yeah. And so you moved, you cast your spell. We jump down to CJ, who's next. CJ, I don't know, has your character ever fought a kraken before?
Oh, I'm sure I've faced all sorts of horrors. I've encountered many a tentacle before, I'll tell you that much.
And we'll get it. And yeah, so I will get within, I'll move a little bit closer, not too close. I'm going to attack it from range. I mean, I got a 60-foot range on most of my spells. So I will, at this point, I think, try a Mind Sliver on it. So it can give me a DC 18 intelligence saving throw.
This thing is crazy.
It's super smart. It's a freaking octopus. I mean,
It's a freaking kraken.
Is it smart?
Pretty nasty.
A 24 on its intelligence.
Oy vey.
Mm.
I think smart, dude.
It's smart enough.
Well,
It's a fart smeller. I tell you that.
well, then it passes, and that's a cantrip, so it doesn't do anything.
Okay. The famed wizard casts a cantrip at the kraken. We go to Randall, and Randall, I will say your friend Lisa might blow your coverage just a bit. She calls out to you and says to you, "Kashar, the food, the boat, we'll be stranded here."
Get all of your people away from the shore. Get them back now.
She nods and she's calling.
I'm also 60 feet away, or am I?
You were also talking to them on the dock,
Yeah.
or close to
Okay.
it. So yeah, about mhm.
I'm going to move. I'm going to move 30 feet forward. Are there any people I can see currently grappled by tentacles?
There are there's the 3 that died, but no, I didn't grab any new people. But there's people that are within the way, and if they were to try to run, it would be an attack of opportunity.
Okay. I'm going to move to one of them. I'm going to use. Do I have Misty Step? I don't think I have Misty Step. I do have Misty Step. I'm going to use.
Your dark elves have it, or the shadow elves have it.
I have like the fancy. I have like the Shadow Kai one. But I also generally Misty Step. I don't remember how many uses of the Shadow Kai one I have. I think it is actually like 6 or something. But you know what? I'll do that. I'll use that instead because I'd rather preserve the spell slot. I will use that. So you see, I just go into a run, move 30 feet. There is a moment where I just there is a swirl of raven's feathers around me, and I disappear and reappear directly next to that person who's like in the way. I'm gonna just use my bait and switch maneuver to grab them and switch places with them, and just kind of push them out of the way. Hit them and push them out of the way. Is there any tentacle within range of me?
Yeah, I would say so, certainly.
Okay, then I'm going to take an attack. Do I get does bait and switch give me a thing, or does it just give a bonus, I think?
If it's a bonus action, or is a true action, then...
Yeah, I think it's a part of... God damn it. I lost it. Bait and switch. It actually just says by expending 5 feet of movement. Sorry. Roll the superiority die until the start of your turn. You or the other creature gains a bonus to its AC equal to the number rolled. So my superiority die are d8s. So that's a 3. I'm in full armor. I'm assuming this guy's not. I'm going to give him the AC bonus. So he gets a plus 3 to his AC. And I'm going to take 2 attacks against it.
Okay.
I'm going to take 2 attacks against it. So first attack. That is a 29 to hit.
There's a hit.
Ignore. Oh, it didn't roll it anyway. That is going to be 24 points of damage, 5 of which is radiant.
Okay.
I actually rolled. Oh yeah, I rolled max damage on that. And then I'm going to do a second hit, or a second attack. Hopefully a hit. That's nat 20.
A crit. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna try to scare this thing away. I'm gonna throw a first level smite into that, and I'm gonna throw another maneuver into it. So it's gonna add an extra 6d8 onto this crit.
Oh my lord, look at that.
Geez, I do not know what it just rolled.
So I think what it did was it did 2 instances of damage.
16.
And it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's 17 plus 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17 plus 7.
It's one-handed, two-handed. Yeah, okay.
I don't think it did the radiant. Oh no, sorry, 17.
I see
plus,
radiant.
Yeah, so it's in 17 plus 7, 24, then plus the 6 for the radiant critical.
So it's going to end up being 30.
Yeah, so 30 from that, and then it would be another 6d8 from the maneuver and smite. So that's another 31 points of damage to it. It's not currently grappling anybody.
Just dead bodies.
Just dead bodies. Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna say it was a disarming strike and disarm one of the
dead halflings. One of the dead halflings.
I go Aragorn and just slash off a tentacle.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I would be doing. I'm not like trying to go at the body. I'm trying to slice away the tentacles to basically make it more hindered.
Yeah.
Does it seem like it's gonna back off, or like does it just look? Does it seem determined?
It doesn't seem like it's going to back off just yet, but it also does look like that hurt it quite a bit, and you lopped off an entire tentacle. You can hear beneath the water a deep, like, nautical moan, like that of like a whale screech or something like that. It's akin to that sort of sound, but it doesn't look like it's retreating just yet.
Okay, then I'll action surge.
Okay, go for it.
I'll action surge and do 2 more attacks.
Go for it.
That's a 32.
Cool.
And a 19.
They both hit.
Okay. That first one is 23 more damage.
Mm-hmm.
Then another 24 damage. And I will throw another superiority die to disarm another creature, and add another 4 damage onto that.
All right, great.
Would I know if krakens speak any language? Like, would they, or like if they understand any language? I don't speak like many. I mean, I speak languages I probably wouldn't understand it unless
you're
it
not
understands
Aquaman,
common.
are you?
No, I didn't take that feat. Didn't take that one.
The Aquaman feat would have came in handy right now. You don't know. You have no idea. Probably, you would guess not. Probably. But it, like most large sea creatures, it understands intimidation. It understands danger.
Sure. It better understand intimidation. That is, I think that's going to be my turn. That's it's my action surge, my action, and my bonus.
Cool. And after this happens, where you see like 100+ damage be dealt, lopping off of limbs, how does the team look to this, and what's your reaction to this, Bear, Yagnir?
Well, Bear is just staring in wide-eyed shock at what just happened, and is looking at this tired-looking elf fella with a little bit more respect.
What about you, CJ? I know your character isn't impressed too easily.
After seeing that display, he's a little bit more impressed. He believes that the tales he has heard have been a little as accurate as he had believed.
Okay.
He hadn't believed it at first, but now he's like,
he is quite formidable. I see why I was sent here.
And you will also notice, after he teleported, he still has maintained this weird sort of phantasmal image of like his body is slightly like kind of fading in and out of like shadow and light, as he's like kind of a little bit like translucent and ghostly.
And Bear thinks to himself, wow, this guy's pretty powerful. I mean, obviously not as powerful as Thabi, but like, pretty good.
And at the end of this like flourish, the kraken is angry. It starts to reach for as many people as it possibly can on the shore, but it's going to only have a few other options, and because you've now drawn much of its attention, and most of the people have now gotten away. Lesa has called people up, and they've run. This creature is going to take its attack. It's got a number of attacks, so let me just do them in order here. It's going to take one reaction on one of the people that's running away. So I'm going to do a quick tentacle there, see if it can grab one. Let's see if it grabs another person here. Ah, yes, it did. I rolled twice, and I don't know why it didn't come up. But 26 was going to grab yet another archaeologist. Maybe it's not a halfling this time. Maybe just a human. Good old Monty. He grabs Monty. This guy you didn't care for too much. He was just a he was due to set up all the tents, so not that big of a deal. Grabs Monty, flings him up into the air, and he's going to crush him with his tentacle in one shot. And then he's going to use his actions on his turn, because now he's the top of the turn, as the archaeologists now fled from the shoreline. They're all, at this point, away from the shoreline. And he's going to swing at you, Randall, for a 24.
24 is going to hit.
Okay. You take 19 bludgeoning.
Oh. Actually, you know what? Nah, I'm going to shield it.
You shield. You block the tentacle's attack. And then he's going to attack you again.
Oh, no, that's going to use my reaction. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you doing it or not?
No, I was gonna do another my reaction when I get missed, but the shield uses my reaction, so I can't.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you shielded the first tentacle.
I'm gonna shield.
Okay, second tentacle for a 33.
Jesus. Okay, yeah, that's gonna hit.
21 bludgeoning, and you are grappled. If you'd like to get out of this grapple on your turn, you can try an action to escape. But I have a feeling you have some more for creative ways to get out of it. And then it does 21 bludgeoning. That's what that attack does. Mm-hmm. And then he is going to... Let's see. He'll bring you under the water and bite you with his massive beak. That's probably like it could almost envelop you. So let me do the bite. But a miss, though, a 23.
That's going to miss.
It's going to miss. It's funny, you're only grappled. Oh, no, wait, you are restrained, so he has advantage on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's actually going to be a 28.
Oh, that literally just hits.
Just hits? Okay. So you are large or smaller, and you're grappled, so that's fine. You are now swallowed. Perfect. You're blind, restrained. Things have total cover against you if they want to try to hit you, but I don't know if that's going to happen. You take 42 acid damage.
Isn't that...
at the start of each of the Kraken's turns, excuse me.
Oh, okay. I was like, math?
Mm-hmm. No. You take it at the start of the Kraken's next turn, yeah.
Oh, so I didn't take bite damage. I was just swallowed.
No, you do. The bite does do 27.
27, okay.
Yeah, but you are
sorry.
swallowed.
I should also note, because I did my Blessing of the Raven Queen, I am resistant to all damage currently. So the 21 would have been halved to 10, and the 27 would be halved to 13.
Totally fine. So you take half of those damages, and then you're swallowed. So you're inside the Kraken right now. It would be Bear's turn. You saw this crazy scene where this elf ran in there, lopping off limbs, doing massive amounts of damage with his magical weapons, and then all of a sudden just gets swallowed. What does Bear do right now?
Quick question. So as he's doing all the damage and he's slicing and dicing, does it appear that the squid is at all incapacitated as a result of this damage? Like, whatever.
No, the squid has been working fine, and the squid also even swallowed him now. So
okay, great. Well, Bear says, "Oh, no! Bear thinks to himself, that guy could be pretty helpful. I feel like we should probably pull him out of the squid. Bear's gonna charge in, and attempt to like bob and weave through the tentacles, and try to get like towards the central body of the squid.
Okay, so you start wading into the water.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then, oh wait, maybe it would be advantageous to get swallowed.
I don't know about that, Bear.
No. Okay, no.
Jump down there and get him, pull him back.
Yeah.
Would you like to try to open its mouth?
Oh, like pry open the mouth with my
I don't know if
bare
it's even
hands?
possible, but I mean, the thing is pretty big. But it's up to you. Whatever you're trying to do. If you're trying to do damage, then yeah, probably just swing. Yeah.
Okay, well, what I know of squid anatomy is that their eyes are very large and close to the brain and also close to the mouth. So if I am able to like wade through the tentacles and get close to the central body and actually get a swing on the main body, a bear would try and like swing for the eye of the squid. Do I even get there though? That's up to you.
If you want, we're doing this kind of like theater of the mind here. So if you have an idea of getting to the eye, I mean, I told you you're within 35 feet of it for sure, 30 feet of it for sure. So if you want to go in and try to like get under the water and see its massive head, I'd say that's fine.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. And like, if you've seen like the Avatar movies, like the Blue People Avatar, not Ong Avatar, like the scenes of them like going through the jungles and like surfing along the vines and the trees. That's what Bear's trying to recreate with the tentacles. So yes, going in for the central body, and then I guess we're going to just whack away at the eye with my battle axe.
Whack away.
Okay, how's a nat 20 for you?
You smack this kraken as it might have had to even lift its body up just to get Kashar into the mouth. So it opened up and swallowed him, and you use this opportunity to weave through the tentacles and slash him right in the eye. Your axe hits him right in the eye. Roll your damage, critical damage. Let's see how it goes.
Let's go. Oh, that's a lot of numbers.
You're using it two-handed or one-handed?
Two-handed.
So then it would be 9 and 13. So that's...
Okay, so 22.
22. Yeah, actually, I'm looking at it right now. It does look weird, like it's reading it weird here, but your battle axe is 9. You have this extra critical damage and the slashing damage from your brutal critical. So it looks like 9 and 13, right? Yeah, 9 and 13. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
and then
21.
Yeah. A secondary objective here is also to try and see if Bear can blind the squid, so then the squid will be impaired as it tries to get more people.
And are you raging, Bear?
Oh, I did not say that I was, did I?
Would you have raged?
I
I'm fine with
didn't
it.
say so, but yeah. I mean, I definitely would have been very highly concerned after seeing the guy get swallowed.
That's fine.
So yes. Okay,
Yep.
cool. So then we can just like imagine that as Bear was bobbing and weaving through these tentacles, Bear was holding his great axe aloft and screaming, bellowing the mighty bellow of his people as he goes into battle. But of course, to everyone else who's observing the scene, they see just like this teensy little gnome running along, going as he approaches the squid.
Okay, so you see this whirling dervish of a tiny little gnome go in. It's a battle roar, but maybe not so loud to the people on the shore. You smash it in the eye, and what do you get? Sorry, what's your second attack?
Oh, same thing. I'm just trying to hack away. Maybe even at the other eye if they're close enough together. Oh wait, I'm so sorry. Hold on, I just found the same thing again.
That's okay. That's just the damage. Yeah, roll it again. Tit.
Yeah. 14 this time?
A 14 does miss, so unfortunately that's fine. However, the creature is going to go, and it's going to spend its turn spitting out an ink cloud with a legendary action. So ink surrounds the creature within a 60-foot radius. It spreads around pretty much everywhere. The dock, around the ships, around Bear. You realize you're covered in this like inky a substance. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Gross. Okay. Let's see. A 26.
Damn! Don't make the barbarian make Constitution saving throws. I guess you're gonna take half of this damage. You take. We'll do the first one. Obviously, rolled double. It's a 12, so you take 12 damage, which halves to. It's poison. Does the barbarian? You are the bear barbarian, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you'd half this as well. So it's going to be only 6. That's pretty good. And then,
Okay.
yeah, so 6, and then also you half damage, so 3.
Oh, okay.
Because you made
take
half for the save, half again for the resistances, so it's really only 3 damage. That's not nearly as effective as the Kraken thought it would be. And then we're going to go to Yagnir and CJ. You're on deck.
So I moved up closer to it. How close am I to it right now?
At this point, you can decide how close you'd like to be. Like Bear ran up to hit it. If you'd like to be within 30 feet of it, you can. Or 15
yeah, I think
feet,
30
whatever you
feet
want to
is
be.
Fine. Yeah, 30 feet's good. I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay, that's a bonus action, right? Am I wrong?
I think as a bonus action on your turn, you can move the weapon up to 20 feet and repeat the attack against the
Gotcha.
creature. So I
So
can do it
casting
twice.
it, yeah, casting it's a bonus action, and moving it is a bonus action. So you can cast it, it can attack, and you still have your own action if you want to shoot like a crossbow or something. Or it's up to you. Whatever you're good, whatever you think Yagnir would do here.
All right, so I'll cast that.
So roll the hit with your spiritual weapon first.
Yep.
This would just be a +5 again. You're same as your wisdom spell attack.
+5. Where's my dice? Oh wow! Oh no, I can't see the dice on the screen.
On your are you using the roll 20 for Yagnir, or are you using
on the S20? I can't. That's what I'm rolling the dice at.
you don't see it? If you want, I can roll you
No.
one on our Vecna one.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So the total is I rolled a nat 1, Steve.
What's that?
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh no!
So the spiritual weapon is cast,
Illusion.
it appears, and it swings and it misses. Of course, it's still there, could be used later. Do you want to attack with anything yours? You just can't cast another leveled spell.
I have a crossbow. I'll attack with that.
All right. I rolled just a 10. That's not going to be enough to hit the creature
Okay.
as well. But Yagnir has the spiritual weapon hanging over this Kraken's head. Bear is pounding it right in its eye, and it seems to be sort of like maybe blinded to one side. It's sprayed inked as a protective measure. And then we go to CJ.
Okay. Bear is... How big is this creature?
He is gargantuan.
It's gargantuan. All right. So I could, in theory, hit it with a fireball without hitting Bear.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Then I'm going to do that. And you hear my character, he says,
Feel the power of the elements.
and I cast a 5th level fireball.
Sweet. Okay, 5th level fireball.
Dexterity saving throw.
Ah, it's specialty.
It
Just kidding.
can't move.
Just kidding. But it still rolls a nat 20. Oh my god.
Well, it takes 16 fire damage as
Okay.
a sphere of fire explodes all around the creature.
Yeah, and it's I'd say maybe like the tentacles get singed mostly because you're trying to avoid hitting Bear, you know, so the tentacles are up in the air, get hit, and it like retracts them, maybe wants to pull them back into the water to get freed here. And I just want to check one thing because Randall's inside, and I know he can't get hit, but
I have full cover, so I would would be blocked by it.
Oh no,
Or
I'm
from
not
it.
worried about you getting hit, but I'm worried about. Okay,
Oh,
so it
can
has to
keep
be.
me down?
It has to take 50 damage or more in a single turn from a creature inside it.
Yeah.
To have to like throw you up. I
Yeah.
thought it was just taking 50 damage on its turn, and it would like have to check to throw you up, but no, that's the case.
Yeah, I got to give
Anyway.
him acid reflux.
Yeah, some acid reflux, some agita. Let's go to you, Randall. It's your turn.
All right. I am going to. You said so. I'm restrained and blinded. All the good stuff. Question is, do I want to make my chance to hit higher, or do I want to fuck it up more? I'm gonna go with fuck it up more. I'm gonna Hexblade's curse it. As I, which is odd for me as like a hex, like my patron is the Raven Queen, like my Hexblade manifests as like more a part of my divinity or my divine oath. So it is like my Hexblade's curse is kind of a prayer to the Raven Queen, invoking the inevitability of death upon this creature. So I'm going to use my Hexblade's curse on it. And I'm going to take 2 attack rolls, which would be at disadvantage. But sorry, my keyboard keeps disconnecting, and so it's not letting me roll.
That's so weird.
Second.
Your keyboard was doing it. My keyboard was disconnecting all this week. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why.
I deeply regret buying a wireless keyboard. I thought it was going to be a good thing because technology is advanced. It hasn't. It still sucks. So disadvantage attack on it. That is a 17 to hit, which I think would miss. So I'm going to use my favorite of the gods, or favored by the gods.
Which gives you a reroll or a bonus?
Gives me 2d4. I can roll 2d4, which I'm assuming its AC is not above 19.
19 did hit, so it's going to hit if you use it.
Yeah. So I'll just use it. No need to roll. And let's do that damage. So that is 20 damage plus an additional 6 from the Hexblade's curse. So that's 26 points of damage. And now I'm going to do another attack. It literally is already disconnected again. I hate this thing.
While you're rolling, Randall, I'm just going to say one thing. Xander Cartwright in the chat. Welcome, Xander. Always good to have you. Despite your actions in Keep on the Borderlands, always happy to have you here. Says, the elf is gone. Take the severed tentacle and run away. It's calamari time. I like that quote. Quote of the night.
Yeah, enough fireballs.
It's calamari time.
Yeah, fireballs. Yeah, some fried calamari.
I'm gonna smite in this as well. Or sorry, I'm gonna use a maneuver and smite. So it's gonna throw a D8 in there. To what are my maneuvers? I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'll hold the maneuver. I'm just gonna smite. I'm gonna throw a second level in there. So we're gonna throw 3 more D8. So that is another 15. So that was
20 plus 6
38 on that second hit.
Gotcha.
Which should be which would make it over 50. So I should get regurgitated.
You will be regurgitated. It vomits you up along with other things that were inside it, different fish and large creatures that were
This was my
decomposing.
plan all along.
You overflow out into the inky waters. And do you have any other actions, or is that it?
No, I already used my action surge. So yeah, I think that's my turn. I will just kind of get to the point where I can stand, so I'm not like swimming. But I'm not gonna like get out of its range. I'm gonna just stand.
Gotcha. So you get up, and the creature is going to use its turn, and it's going to retreat. It will disengage and retreat, leaving the waters behind, the inky waters behind, as it's you see the displacement too of the water and the boats rocking around on the dock as it submerges even further out into the sea. And that's the end of the combat here. So, the rest of the archaeologists cheer you on as the four of you come away from the shoreline towards the archaeologist camp. And Lisa comes over and gives you a big hug, Kashar, and she goes, "Oh, I regret that." And she's like all slimy with ink and digestive juices.
Tell them to stop cheering. Several of your people died.
Yes, but several more could have without your help. And all of
Yes.
you. Thank you. Friends, I hope.
Yes, good friends, I hope as well.
And I look at
What-
the other two.
What is your name, great wizard?
I look at Bear and I say,
Tourists, eh?
I say,
No tour. I don't normally encounter many tourists who fight like that. Now, well, I am Derlin, great archmage of the realm.
don't remember if I had.
She goes, and what realm would that be?
By, the Forgotten Realms.
She's like, I'm unfamiliar. I'm well traveled too. I'm surprised. You must come from far.
It is quite a bit away. I've traveled a long way to get here. And in fact, I am in search of your friend there, Kashar.
Kashar? Oh,
Yes, it is quite fortuitous that we finally meet, Kashar.
Fortuitous for one of us.
Fortuitous for us all, I think. You, me, these tourists, quote unquote, if you understand. Perhaps, we all are in search of something together.
Yes, and I don't believe it is a kraken, so why don't we get inside the tree line in case it gets bold?
Those things come out of the water?
They can.
That's terrifying.
So
But don't
why?
worry, we'll handle it if it comes back. I'm sure.
When Kashar was doing his slicing and dicing, were any of the tentacles actually like fully severed?
yeah.
Okay, sweet. Bear's gonna like use this time to just like lug the tentacles onto the beach and just like deliver them to the people.
So actually,
It's
the archaeologists that would have like ran back to their encampment nearer the tree line, right? And they want nothing. They're like terrified of this, even the thought of this probably. But you know, they're hiding within their tents. But you do go over and grab the tentacle that's like on the beach, and you start to lug it, and it's pretty heavy, right? I mean, your bear's strong, but you know it's pretty heavy. The elf and the orc that were like separate from the group, they actually were when you go down there, you go to grab the tentacle, they're actually right there with you, helping you pick it up. The elf man is I would say relatively sun worn. Like you can see his skin is very tanned from the sun. It's maybe even like the wood elf like, right? He's like tan, but he's not a wood elf. Just looks like the sun has taken a toll on his skin. And the orc, similarly tanned, more of like a greenish flesh. But both of them wear different clothes, like more natural looking clothes that would have been found materials here on the island. They don't look like the archaeologists. They look maybe like they are native to this island. And or at least have been here much longer, at least. The elf man says, "Hello there. My name is Tallow, and this here is Volgren. You look like a kind soul, and you look like you could help preparing your next meal." As they help you maneuver the calamari, soon to be calamari.
Well, hi Tallow and hi Volgren. Nice to meet you guys. I'm Bear. Yeah, I guess I'm pretty hungry. And the people I came with, I mean, that guy's my friend. Creepy, beardy accountant. No, not accountant. That guy over there, I don't know. He's kind of weird, but like we're with him. And then the other guy, he seems pretty strong. But yeah, I think we would all benefit from some lunch. That would be nice. We could maybe eat together and get to know each other.
Perfect. Yeah, you drag the tentacle up. They have like a fire going. They start to cut it up. It seems like maybe they haven't had something this large, but at the very least they know their way around like the food of this island. So they start to cut and start to cook. And so while this conversation's going on with with those two and Bear's over there, kind of making new friends, Kashar and Derlin are talking with Lesa. Yagnir, what are you doing during all this calamity here, or the calamity at the end of the calamity?
I'm gonna go with my friend Bear, and I'll help him make some calamari.
Good. Yeah. So then you're over there meeting the two, the elf and the orc, and so Derlin and Kashar, you have a moment. Lesa says to you, "We're gonna just double check to see if we can't recover anyone from the waters. You two, we would appreciate help."
Yes.
And she starts.
Certainly, I would offer any help that I could, but you must understand I am not quite fit for swimming and lifting and carrying people out of the water. And the robes, once they get wet, you understand, they're very heavy now. Once they're wet, it would be so much heavier and more difficult to move within.
She's
But I
already
will
walking. She's out of
any
sight
that
at
I
this point,
can.
or out of earshot. She's walking down towards the beach carefully. She's got her sword out. A couple of the other archaeologists, the stronger ones that are more in their youth, their prime, they're helping and they're getting some of the dead bodies from the water. But Kashar and Derlin, you have a moment here where it's just the two of you on the beach.
Did he send you?
Oh, yes, he did. You know why I'm here then.
I have some assumptions.
Well, I can tell you are quite capable of dealing with anyone who crosses your path. So I hope not to engage you any further in such unpleasantries.
I imagine that your master would have taught you to do otherwise. Or at the very least, that it would be unwise to do so.
That is, well, I could see from your performance against the kraken that it is certainly that.
So, how long has he been looking for me?
Oh, not long. I've only been here for a few, what is it, months maybe. Just trying to track you down is part of the difficulty. But you've made it quite hard, staying one step ahead of me. I must say you are quite good at not staying in one place for very long.
I get bored easily.
Yes, well, don't we all? It's part of the whole shtick of what we do. Can't stay in one place for too long, you know. Gotta keep moving, keep looking for the next, the next fix on the whole adventuring thing. But, you're obviously much more than would appear.
Derlin, as you're speaking to Kashar and maybe kind of skirting around the idea of what you want from him, you look around and you see the encampment that they've built, the archaeologists, and you notice something. You're near a tent and it's empty, but you look around. In the sand are a bunch of discarded toothpicks.
He looks around. He's like, "Oh, have you been? I assume there's a lot of food that gets stuck in your teeth you eat around here. So what has brought
Right now
you
there-
out this?
There are people at home screaming at their phones or their computers right now. Just letting you know this, everybody. There are people that are like, "Oh my God, it's the thing." Go ahead.
Is there any hair forks employed here? Amongst-
You do remember, I'm about to call you Quentin, Randall, Kashar, when you first arrived here with the crew, there was a strange-looking half-orc. He had a lot of disfigurement. He had burns all over his body, and he would always be seen with a toothpick in his mouth. But at one of your earlier patrols into the jungles trying to map out different routes, one of the teams got lost. They never came back. It's been they assumed they died. They weren't very competent, and not very sure that what exactly happened to them. You tried to search for their trail, but it got lost at some point, and they haven't returned. There's been about 4 or 5 of them, maybe in total. They were the first casualties of this trip.
Now, why would you ask a thing like that?
Oh, I mean, we all have demons or orcs.
Toothpick demons?
Most demons are not half-orc shaped.
Most of them are not, but you know. Anyway, what?
Yes, there was a half-orc. He is either dead, lost, or betrayed us. So,
Oh,
either way, he is
God.
dead.
well, that is a relief, perhaps. He does have a way of surviving, though. This encampment you've found yourself in, though, archaeologists searching for artifacts, I assume. I wouldn't
Yes.
imagine you're looking for much in the way of artifacts.
Lisa comes back from the shore and she says to you, "Yes, many artifacts, stolen treasures."
Some more important than others.
Mm-hmm. Pishar here has joined the group because he is like-minded. You see, long ago there was an evil mage with a skeletal appearance. He came to my home and pillaged it with his undead servants. He goes by the name Acerarak. Do you know him?
I've heard the name once or twice.
Well, I've tracked him down. He's created these dungeons, traps really, all around the realms. But this is one of his special ones. A tomb of horrors, so to speak.
Well, that's a little bit exciting and a little bit terrifying, but I
Yes,
believe
while you have been on a fool's errand looking for something that is not of import, the reason you have not been able to find me is because I am chasing the things that matter.
I think all the things matter, but what things are you chasing?
She says, "I'm
Since you
searching
know what
for..."
I'm looking for, why don't you tell me about what you're looking for?
Lisa says, "We're here to search for some artifacts that were taken from my people. I believe that this Acerarak brought them to one of his most protected crypts. There are magical items, powerful ones.
Well, I'm all for finding powerful magical items, I must say. If Kashar and I's mutual friend is accurate about the information he has given me, then we are in need of as many powerful artifacts as we can find.
I am more concerned with one in particular. One that I have seen before, but when I saw it, it was attached to a skull.
She says, "If you wish, Derlin the Archmage, you could join us. In fact, now that we're down a few people, the jungles are not safe. It would be good to have some magical backup. I'm Lisa."
He's going
and
to
she
follow
introduces
us no
them.
matter what.
I would be happy to join you as well. It would be my honor to help you in your endeavors here to secure the magical artifacts and reduce the power of this Acerarak you so fear. I think
And your friends are more than welcome to come. They seem pretty
yes,
capable.
the two tourists, I'm sure they would love the experience of touring a dungeon.
she looks over to them right now, and all of you turn, and they're like literally cooking over a spit roast, and they're talking to the two people that are not part of this group, and they're having a grand old time, laughing, talking, eating.
Little skewered pieces of tentacle on sticks, like roasting over a fire.
That's it.
Very
Cracking-
wholesome
Cracking
feasting.
kebabs, you know.
My kind of
We should
food.
gather everyone, get everyone situated. I know I said 40 minutes. We can take an hour to get everything broken down. Eat, rest. If the kraken is at the shore, I cannot imagine that the things that await for us in the forest will be much better.
Understood, she says. We'll take a brief rest, get everybody back together, and head out into the jungles. I believe we're close, Kashar. We're very close. She's looking at a map now. She like opens up a map and she's kind of examining it. She'll invite both of you to look at it as well, and she kind of goes over the routes that they've taken so far, explaining it to Derlin, and you're preparing for the journey. Michelle and Steve will go to your character a second while you're talking to Vogren and Tallow, the elf and the orc. I said them out of order, but the elf is Tallow and Vogren is the orc. The two of them look at you while you're eating, and they say, "Are you friends with those archaeologists?"
No, we don't know them.
We just met him today.
Well,
When we were both in the guild, S20 guild, was there like a secret language, like a thieves' cant?
there wasn't, but I'm sure that you could refer to things that would maybe give like some sort of a symbol. I don't know that you would have a conversation, but like if you said something and it harkened back to it, I'm sure there would be some sort of what do you want? What's the message you want to convey?
I want to ask Bear privately. I know these two are sitting right there. Maybe it's a little rude, but I wanted to ask him. Okay, so now that we're here, what is it that you're looking for? You haven't told me.
You could have a brief moment, like you kind of like sit down on the opposite side of the spit and talk. Yeah.
So you came to me, and I did what I did out of our friendship and our camaraderie, but you still haven't told me, what am I doing here? What are you doing here?
Well, first of all, thank you for your help. I
Of
really
course,
do
of course.
appreciate your friendship. I'm here because, well, you see, the last time you saw me, I was with, the most powerful being of all time, the one and only magical greatest wizard, the Dobby himself. And I would be with him now too. The thing is, we had to split up because we're looking for this thing.
Well, I seem to recall the last time I saw you, you went off on your own somewhere.
Wait, did that happen?
Did I?
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, well, you and Dobby left the guild.
You and Doc. All right.
Oh, yes. Right. Yes, we ran off. Yes. And well, it turns out, I don't know. Do you ever have those dreams where like a gigantic demonic eye like appears and talks to you, and then you're kind of like in the abyss and like you're surrounded by the void? And do you get those dreams too?
I'll take out my big book, my big what do they call the witch's spell book?
Not a spell book?
No, it's a spell book, but the Grimoire or Grimoire and
Oh,
whatever.
Grimoire.
Grimoire.
Yeah.
Open it and I'll show Bear some drawings I made of demonic eyes and limbs and things that have appeared in my dreams as of late.
While some of them do look, a vague representation of what you might have seen, none of them, like when you look at them, make your heart like kind of beat. Like whenever something has truly reminded you of Vecna and what happened in the graveyard that night, none of that ever, these little visions, they're, Yagnir's haunted by his past, but you seem to not recognize these symbols. It's different to you, you know?
Well, I mean, yes, it's like an eye. Like, I see clearly what an eye looks like. But imagine this, but like 100 times bigger and like 1,000,000 times more horrible. And like it just makes you want to soil yourself forever. Basically that. So I've been having these dreams, and this giant eye comes and it talks to me, and it says that it's gonna destroy everything that we know and love, and it's the end of reality as we know it. And the only way to stop that from happening is to get a piece of a rod. Do you know anything about this? And like at this point, Bear like really like hushes down his voice to make sure no one overhears. Have you ever heard anything about a rod piece?
Book of Shadows, that's what it's called. So I'll look in my Book of Shadows. Is there anything there about magical rods or staves or demon eyes that that he's describing?
No, none of this sounds familiar to you. In fact, like the idea of these rod pieces or broken pieces of a rod, that doesn't really ring a bell at all. But did you say Vecna? I don't know if you did.
No, Bear just said like a giant demonic eye, but did not specifically say Vecna.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so either way. So
I
no,
am a
this doesn't
demonologist. Do you know the name of the demon?
Does Bear know the name Vecna specifically?
Certainly. Oh, certainly. Yeah. Remember, the cult of Vecna was what you've encountered inside the mausoleum underneath in the graveyard. The Vecna, you would have definitely been, and even just because of how you encountered Vecna in that weird miasma space, like your dream that happened at the where it transported you into like the upside down world of Neverwinter. When you actually encountered, you just knew his name. It was almost like it was ingrained into your mind. He didn't need to speak his name aloud for you to know it.
Okay. Well, then Bear, like when Yagnir asks the name, Bear like looks around furtively and then leans in and whispers at like barely audible, like 2 decibels. Bear will whisper right into Yagnir's ear.
What was that?
Vecna? What? So you
Darn it, Yagnir! Vecna! It was Vecna, okay?
Do I know the name?
Don't say Vecna in front of Kashar. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, is the yelling that follows the whisper getting the attention of Kashar?
No. You whisper Vecna, and Steve, you can give me a history check. See if you have heard of Vecna before.
Okay.
If you don't, just roll a dice, and you can add your intelligence to it.
17. And let's see. I lost my character.
Well, either way, I think a 17 would be enough to maybe the fact that you might have heard of that name, kind of like it, you're not quite sure, but maybe like some sort of evil undead creature, but you know very little about it. You would assume that if you were in your headquarters, that there would be like a place in the library that would definitely have some summer writing about him. But
It'd be like a 19 with the intelligence. Is this? I'll ask it. Could I add religion to that as well, since it's a demon? Or
it's not a demon, actually. He is in a lich, but other than maybe knowing that he might be an undead. He is,
but does Yagnir know that it's not a demon? Like, Bear didn't tell me that. You know what I mean?
you would have known. You would have not heard of a demon named Vecna, but you might have heard of an evil entity named Vecna that maybe has been spoken about in whispered, whispered circles, cults. But other than just knowing,
and I'll say, I've heard the name. I don't know what it is.
Well, basically, I don't know that much. Honestly, Dobby's the one who knows everything. But from what I understand, this Vecna is bad news. We need to find these rod pieces in order to take them down. I don't know where the rod piece is, but I heard it's somewhere around here. And we can't let other people know that's what we're up to. Because maybe then they'll take it for themselves. and they won't realize that that could be the end of everything as we know it.
I'll clap Bear on the back and say, "Your quest is now my quest."
Calamari,
Thanks, friend.
as Talos comes
And I'll
over and
say,
offers you a plate.
not too loud. I'll say, "Let's just hope this Vecna character isn't a lich."
Ah. Bear's like, "Mm." Calamari,
I'm joking.
Talos comes over to you and says, Vogren makes mean calamari, and he hands you a plate of this, I guess roasted kraken tentacle. It's not actually octopus or squid, so like it may not taste very good. I don't know, but it he give it to you, and Talos will say as you start to enjoy this meal, he says, "Well, if you're not with those archaeologists, then you must be here for a very important reason. I just want to let you know that we here are priests of Celestian, a deity of the stars, and the wanderers of Oerth. We believe that there is a symbiotic relationship between us and the spirits of nature. Here in the Isle of the Serpents, the nature spirits reside on this island, have been here since the beginning of time, and they don't take too kindly to those who exploit it. I feel like you two understand that just by getting just to get to know you after this horrible attack on the other people. It seems like you care about life. And so no one should take something from this island without leaving something in return. A system of reciprocity. It's important. And respect for the island itself and for the spirits itself. It's very important to us.
And I'll say, fellow servants of good faith, I am a servant of Hecate, protector of the night.
He nods his head and bows in sort of reverence.
And local witches. I too believe in your belief that in order to take, we must give back.
Vogren the orc will take the sort of like the lead here and says, these archaeologists cut down many of the trees. They rampage through the forest searching for whatever might be valuable. I don't believe that they should be here.
How long have they been here?
Oh, just under 2 weeks now. But we are very concerned. Remember, the spirits don't take kindly to someone taking something without leaving in return.
And they haven't told you what they're doing here?
They've said that they've come here to look for artifacts. No doubt to pillage and take from the nature spirits.
What do you think these nature spirits would want in return for one of these artifacts?
Offerings of various sorts. Food, crafted items. And then Talos goes, money as well. Money. Do you have any gold?
I have some.
We could take it as an offering, he says.
Interesting. I didn't know nature knew what money is.
Yeah, no, he actually says that. I'm not making this up. It's not a joke. It does sound a little facetious on my part. No, he does say money, and he's like, we can make an offering to the spirits if you provide us with some gold.
Well, as I stammer, it's actually not my money. It's on loan from my guild.
The guild's money. You're gonna
the guild's money.
Sure.
Bear and I are here on the guild's dime.
Okay. How much do you want to give him?
Well, I mean, I'm still a member of the guild. I'm very loath to give them any of their money. I'll give them a gold piece.
Okay, he'll take it. All right, so now at this point, the conversation kind of winds down. The group gets together. The archaeologists come together. Bear and Yagnir rejoin everybody. And Lesa says, all right, we're ready to leave. Marion, will you please explain the route today? And Marion is a human woman. She has a spell book, and it does look like a mage of sorts, not nearly as renowned as Durlin. But you can see on one of the wooden tables they've built here, she lays out the map and explains where you're going to be going. You're heading northeast into the island. You've searched around. You've done a perimeter of the island. You've now searched out a couple of different routes, found different natural borders and barriers. She feels like you're going to continue northeast to the center of the island, and that hopefully you'll run into whatever tomb is meant to be found. She says, though, but, everyone, just as I've said many times now this last week, if we do find the tomb, we have to be extremely vigilant. This tomb was meant to not only kill people that tried to enter, but then keep them inside, trapped. Eyes open. She looks to Kashar and, looking for your agreement.
Kashar would nod.
So,
Everything in there will try to kill you, and it will not stop there.
Marion is a little more light-spoken, and she says, that's wonderful, Kashar. Another good, rousing speech to start us off on our journey. Now, you can see she takes a couple of items out of her bag as well. Takes a couple of items that she has and is placing them in her bag. She has a very ornate-looking lantern, and Randall, I would say Kashar has seen this before. It is a lantern of revealing. You feel like this would be extremely helpful inside this tomb whenever you do find it. And she also, has a gem of seeing strapped to her belt.
And this is Lisa, correct?
No, this is Marion, the
Marion.
resident mage. Is actually her title on her character sheet. She's the resident mage. But now I guess you have another mage.
I'll refer to her first.
Perfect.
Marion. Okay. Okay. Awesome. I will say to Marion, just
Please stay behind me.
Absolutely. I have no intention of going headfirst into this jungle or tomb.
Good.
Yes. And she looks at Derlin. Are you proficient in the arcane arts?
Oh, quite proficient, you'll find. I'm very good at what I do. I'm known around where I'm from as an archmage, really, a 20th level, if you will. But don't worry, I won't go too far into my abilities. I don't want to overshadow the
We
others
don't-
around here, so don't fret. I'll just, keep my abilities at about where yours all are.
Other wizards I've met don't refer to themselves by levels. Is this a sort of like a training system?
It
you
is
have
a training system. My master has approved it, and he's gone over it. It's sort of, we get the robes, and there's like a belt that comes with it sometimes.
Yes,
Ah.
I
My
do remember
20th
the
level
belts.
belt.
Yes. It's
Never-
odd. Arch typically refers to supreme above all else. How does your master feel about you referring to yourself as an archmage?
Well, he's on that actually. So I have said that, and he hasn't done much about it. So
I'll bring it up
seems
with him
fine
next
with
time
it.
I see him.
yeah, if you wanted, I mean,
I don't particularly care.
but then why
Alright.
did you ask?
Lisa
Because
says,
I
chop,
wanted
chop.
to fuck with you.
Lisa says, chop, chop now. We're
Yes.
losing daylight.
Well, we'll lose it quite fast once we are underground.
That is true. Well,
I'm assuming that we got a short rest, which is why I was like, we could take an
Yes,
hour,
yeah.
right?
yeah, short rest is totally fine.
I
Onward and
purposely
upward.
expended every single short rest ability that I have.
Nice. Yeah. Got to maximize it. So, you ready to go into the jungles?
Went into Kraken.
Let's go.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. We'll have time to do the rest if you didn't roll hit dice. I don't know if you needed it, but we can do that later between the games because I think we're nearing the end of episode 1 here. But we'll do one last thing before we begin, or before we end. Jeez. You travel through the jungles. Now you've followed Lisa before, and she seems really determined. I feel like she's been very steadfast in trying to be patient and try to do things the right way, but you get a sense of urgency from her. Not just the fact that the kraken attacked, but the fact that this whole place is sort of like resistant to like magical effects. You know, the teleportation issues you've come encountered, as well as the divination that you've struggled with here. She is definitely feeling like there's pressure now with maybe some things going on here. The kraken was a strange thing to her. She seems a little off like than normal, so she seems determined to find this place, and she is scouring. You search the jungles for, we'll say, maybe 8 hours at this point. And she looks around to everybody, kind of frustrated, and she's like, "I really thought we've searched every inch of this place. I'm not sure how we could be making a mistake right now."
Have you thought that this is a tomb that does not want to be found?
I was
Every
about to
day.
say exactly the same thing. I was about to say, maybe this tomb
For fuck's
doesn't
sake.
like to be found so easily.
She says, "Every day." She says, "You there, bear, is it?
Hi.
You're relatively small and strong. Could you climb up that tree and see if there's a vantage point? This looks like it's a big, like huge, like maybe I don't know what I don't know. I do not know tropical trees, but it's a big one. Okay, a big like palm tree that's big. I don't know if
That's a
somebody in the
tropical
chat
tree.
knows, or you want to leave a comment down. What's that?
Big old redwood.
They don't have redwoods on this tropical island, but it's
It'd be a wild island.
Yeah, really.
it's a big tree. Do you want to climb it?
Sure, yeah. I'll first like kind of nudge it a little bit to make sure we have structural integrity. And then if it looks pretty stable, I'll shimmy up as high as I can get. If it's a palm tree, maybe even I'll see some coconuts and be like, "Hey, here, coconuts. This is what you came to see, right?" And then like lop one off and drop it down to the ground.
It's my head.
Roll a deck save. Yeah.
Whoops.
Somebody is saying cypress and Tasman in the chat. Maybe that's it. I couldn't tell you what a cypress tree looked like. So
It's
Um,
they look like brush strokes, like as if you like take a paintbrush and you go straight up. They're kind of like shrubby looking.
oh, okay. Well, then maybe
I
for bear.
guess.
I don't know how tall they would be, but it's a relatively tall tree. You climb up it, and you can see. I mean, it's pretty thick, dense jungle, but there was like a nice little area of shrubs and like thick jungle grass that you've had to like avoid for a while. But now that you're here and you can see over it and into it, you see something moving within.
Oh, okay. Does it look very close?
I mean,
Uh,
maybe 60 feet away from where the people are standing down below.
60 feet. That's pretty close. Okay. If I talk at a normal volume, would they be able to hear me on the ground?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Then I will point with my full arm length because I recognize it's not a very long arm. So I just like point with my full arm length straight at the thing that's moving, and I say, "Something's close. Something is moving."
From
Lace-
60 feet
Keep your
below, your
guards
full
up.
arm length is about this big. So.
Right, exactly. Like it's like that in the distance. So I say, "There's something over there, guys.
Lisa pulls out
Everybody,
her
keep your eyes
crossbow.
peeled."
Lisa pulls out her crossbow. What do you do?
Sword drawn.
Do I get a
Sword
sense of how big it is?
Small.
Tall?
Something small
Oh,
moving in the bush.
Something small. Is it moving fast, slow?
Slow.
Okay. Then I'll shimmy back down. It's small and slow, so maybe we have a chance. But get ready, guys.
It
And then
could
I'll
be a
also take out my
tortoise.
axe.
It could be a tortoise. You've seen many of them. Yagnir gathers his mace. Durlin readies a spell of high level, I'm sure. Kashar has a sword out. Michelle, does Bear take a axe as well?
Yes.
Lisa has her crossbow. Marion has no weapon, but she like looks on in intrigue. And a couple of the archaeologists that are with you, they look on. Maybe there's like two others that are going to go on this trip with you. They look around, and out from the bush that everybody's standing ready to fight, a small black cat steps out of the bushes. And we will see you next week for episode 2 of Vecna, Eve of Ruin. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for playing. This is a great first episode. what is going on this island. More to come. Check out Strahd on Tuesdays, and of course, links down below in the description for all of the other things to that we've talked about. Links to everything, Patreon, all the good stuff. Until then, though, we will see you on the tabletop. Have a good night.
Oh no.
Why? You just realized who it could be?
Yep.